Alright, so like I said, I'm going to try and start doing this annually, weekly. We're getting to the end of the season, so there won't be too much to talk about. Maybe I'll find something else to talk about. But I have my NFL app open. Again, they are not endorsing me to say this, but it is a great app. It keeps you up to date with all the scores, the news, different stories going around, injury reports, fantasy booking, all that type of stuff. So, if you have enough space on your phone, and you're a football fan, I suggest you download it. Again, they are not endorsing me, but if they would like to, cha-ching. Anyway, let's start with Thursday's game. This is one of the games I was actually anticipating. If you saw my heard my last video, I actually like watching the Kansas City Chiefs. They're probably number 3 in my list, maybe even number 2. I think I'm starting to like them a little more than Seattle. But I watched this game all the way through, and they beat Oakland pretty convincingly. Oakland was the number 1 seed at the time, and they dropped down to 5. And now Kansas City is sitting at number 2 seed. So go Ravens tomorrow, and let's knock New England down so Kansas City can be on the top of the AFC. I would love to see that. So then you got Pittsburgh Steelers in Buffalo winning 27-20. And this game, until tomorrow's decision, has knocked the Ravens out of the number 1 in AFC North's position and currently puts them out of the playoff picture. So now, in order for Baltimore to keep their playoff picture alive, they have to win in Foxborough tomorrow. So next we got San Diego in Carolina, losing 16-28. Not much to say about that. We have the return of RG3 in Cleveland, unfortunately losing to the Cincinnati Bengals 23-10. Now, I did check the stats on this game, and RG3 did score the 1 touchdown of the game, so props to him, but you still lost. Then we got Chicago in Detroit, losing 17-20. This now puts Detroit in the number 2 seed in the NFC. I'll explain more on that soon, because it was Seattle Seahawks in that spot, but now it is the Detroit Lions. And that's pretty magnificent considering the history of the Detroit Lions. Alright, so we got Houston in Indianapolis winning 22-17, continuing their piss poor playoff position, I gotta say. I hate to say it, but when you're 7-6 and you got these teams that are just looking so much better than you, and you're still in the playoffs indefinitely, there's not much to say about that. I mean, whatever. Okay, moving on. Minnesota Vikings in Jacksonville, 25-16, winning that game. Then we have Arizona Cardinals in Miami, losing 23-26 in a close game. Now, this is the game that I watched for the most part. The next game, which is the Washington Redskins versus the Philadelphia Eagles, and this was a back and forth game. I was actually really nervous for Washington in this game, but they pulled it off 27-22. They are not currently in the playoff picture anymore, but I, for one, hope that does change. Interesting situation right there. Moving on to the 4 o'clock games, we got Denver in a losing effort to Tennessee, 10-13. Denver being last year's Super Bowl champions, losing to a team with a losing record last year. Tennessee fighting to try and keep their playoff hopes alive, and I underline hopes like 3 times. Then we got the amazing sarcastic response, New York Jets playing the phenomenal sarcastic response, San Francisco 49ers. And the Jets won in San Francisco 23-17. And my friend actually called that one. So shout out to my buddy, Buddy. Yes, his name is Buddy. Alright, so we're wrapping it up. We got New Orleans in Tampa Bay losing 11-16. Tampa Bay still holding on to their wild card spot, trying viciously to get ahead of Atlanta. Then we got now this is the game that I'm really upset about. Seattle Seahawks were playing in Green Bay. Now, like I said, Seattle's one of my top 3 teams, and they lost in Green Bay 10-38. Russell Wilson threw 4 interceptions, and Aaron Rodgers obviously played smooth football all night. That's all I can say. Then you got the Atlanta Falcons in Los Angeles winning 42-14. Now, it doesn't matter where you are. 42, anytime you can break 42 points, that is magnificent. And we bring ourselves to primetime football, the 11-1 Dallas Cowboys versus the 8-4 New York Giants. Now this game, this is the one that everybody's been waiting for, because Dallas, the one loss they had was their first game versus the New York Giants. And I was at work during the game, but I was paying attention. And from what it looked like neither quarterbacks were really on their A game, especially Eli Manning. However, this was a defense game. And the New York Giants won. They swept Dallas for the season. Dallas still has the number 1 seed, and they still are at the top of their division, but they have not been able to defeat the Giants at all this year. Giants now sit 9-4. Amazing. So, kudos to Odell Beckham Jr. He's one of my favorite receivers in the game, and he is the one who scored the winning touchdown. And Dez Bryant, his one reception in the game turned into a fumble, which pretty much closed out the game. So there you have it. That's Sunday Night Football. That's Thursday Night Football. Tomorrow night we have the Ravens playing in Foxborough versus the New England Patriots. And this may seem like an uphill battle for the Ravens, but the Ravens do play some of their best football at the end of the season in the month of December. So I'll be at work for most of that game. I'm hoping to be able to catch some of it, but it should be a good game either way. Let's hope the Ravens pull it off for all my Baltimore fans. If you're a New England fan, well, you can afford this loss. That's all I really got to say on that. You can afford this loss. So, hope everybody had a great weekend. Enjoy the week to come up. This is your boy Kev, signing out.